Greg Serio here with the People of Manufacturing at St. Petersburg College, Clearwater campus. We're here to talk to Susan Bouzouki Eber and Gabriel Yeager. Come inside and let's find out more.
How are you today?
I'm very good, thanks, and glad to be here.
Likewise. We've been working together for October will be 2 years.
Yep.
Over the course of the 2 years, you've really helped me find the way for my company to actually register our standard. So we worked with Susan directly over about a 2-year period to build a standard from scratch. So because of the complexities of apprenticeships that we had, Susan helped us jump over a lot of the hurdles that we didn't understand.
You've created a niche, and I think that's why all eyes are kind of on you. They're going, whoa, wait a second, this is a different take on what we've been doing forever and ever. My dad was a tool and guy. He had to do his 8,000 hours. My brother's a welder. He had to do a type of apprenticeship. But what you're bringing to the table is so appealing that not only the person coming into the apprenticeship program, but also the companies are going, wow, if we could upskill someone in that quick of time and literally develop them to fit our culture. So it's taking that curriculum and saying, what kind of machine do you use? Here, I can come out and I can help you work that machine. We can't do that in education. We can't do that quick. We can give you theory, we can give you a machine to work on, but in terms of that flexibility of that related technical instruction, you got it.
Part of St. Petersburg College, it's a huge organization and it took a while to understand. Can you explain how you ended up in this role and why you accepted this role?
Any educational organization is very large and it's a little tricky to navigate. Networking, communicating with my peers, my colleagues, that kind of helped me understand there's so much more to education than just your simple 2-year degree or 4-year degree. Through that, I found out about the apprenticeship program, and I went and spoke to my boss, Susan Bouzouki Eber, and learned about the apprenticeship model, and I found, hey, that's a solution for the talent pipeline that I want to be involved with.
Robotic integration, that's something that we're passionate about, and we have our other segments, man versus robot. In your experience, what kind of apprenticeships work best with emerging technologies?
So I think that the machinist piece that you came up with is a very interesting piece, and I think there's even room to throw on a robotics, so to create another apprenticeship that would be specifically a robotics apprenticeship, and I think there's real room for that. I haven't heard of any so far in the state of Florida, so I think we can be real cutting edge there. That's number one. Number two, and you brought this to my attention, is I didn't realize how important robotics were, but I also didn't realize what the draw was for young people in robotics.
The manufacturing industry as a whole is totally evolving right now with the integration of robotics and artificial intelligence, i.e. machine learning. How do you see the future in workforce development with this emerging technology?
That's a great question. In my opinion, looking at everything that I have seen in advanced manufacturing and robotics, it seems to me that where we're going is more of a technology focus, and that technology-based training is something that education and learning institutions can provide, and it's going to require that changing workforce mindset for people to acknowledge that and actually go ahead and say, the industry is changing as a whole, so let me go ahead and change with it as opposed to fight it, and just embrace that change and go ahead and learn those new skills and train your employees those skills that they need.
It's developing a pathway towards economic mobility. I think for so long people decided to go into higher education without really understanding what was out there. I know myself as a first-generation college student in my family, and I didn't know what I would even go to school for. So I think that advanced manufacturing and this apprenticeship in particular can really open doors for a lot of our young people in high school, a lot of incumbent workers, our veterans coming back who are looking to connect up with. They've had all this magnificent training through, I mean, really, our armed forces really trains people to do things well.
Highly trained individuals.
Exactly, and then they come back here and it's like, okay, where can we put you? Right now, there are 6.2 million unfilled jobs out there for skilled workers. 6 million. We have our unemployment rate is only 3%. So we've got to bridge that gap. This gap that we have right now in unskilled workers is probably the largest gap we've ever seen in all of our history. You help people become successful, you build their confidence. I can't think of anything better to do. I mean, you've now made somebody feel like they're a contributing part of our society. You can look at that with CARD. You can look at that with Pinellas Ex-Offender Reentry Coalition. You can look at that for Ready for Life, which is foster care, youth aging out of foster care. So there's that human capital, there's potential for human capital to really shine. Again, going back to apprenticeships, and what you came to the table with was so unique of an idea that said, let's cut the time out rather than it being a 8,000-hour apprenticeship. Let's see if we can't do this competency-based, get people out there working quicker, you know, get them into the community, help them to feel like a valued member of the community, and, you know, I think that's where it's all just come together for us.
One of the talking points that I wanted to talk to you about, because I know you work directly with a lot of employers in the area, is what role do you see the community college playing for bridging skill gap? And by skill gap, I mean just not any specific industry sector, but the ones that are hurting.
Okay. Yeah, so the community college, really the model of the community college is we're there, it's in our name, we're here to help the community grow. And that's not just for any one industry, that's not just for the individual, but that's also for the employers that we are connected with and with the individuals that we want to see grow. So, not speaking of any particular industry, but manufacturing comes to mind, we see that there's a need in the area with our massive growth in the engineering community that we want to help fulfill those needs for positions, and the apprenticeship model is one of the ways that we've found to be successful in doing that.
From my understanding of economic impact, for every job that's created in the industry, whether it's IT or these high-paying, high-skilled jobs, how have you seen that bleed out into the community and how it affects the surrounding community of these employers?
So the whole idea here is as we draw these companies into the Pinellas County and the Tampa Bay area, it's going to benefit not only individuals and give them more options and choices, but it's also going to benefit the infrastructure of the county. So think bigger picture, you know, we've got to, every urban city has to start looking at what their aging infrastructure is. How do we build better roads? How do we create green spaces? How do we, you know, keep things beautiful, if you will? And so bringing all of that, so it's sort of like the ripple effect, right? People begin to feel good about themselves, they feel good about where they live. This brings shop owners and really starts to create, as you had mentioned early on, an ecosystem that really benefits the whole Tampa Bay area. So it's a win-win for everybody. I am so proud of you, and I'm so proud of the work that you've done, and just as I watch the videos come out, and I watch other people appreciate you, I know this is it. This is it.
Do it. Cry.
No, I won't.
If you want to learn more about SBC apprenticeships or just apprenticeships in general, you can follow our website by going to stpe.co/SPC apprenticeship.